this is a case study. I read the question. Okay. Grant the council review. I read the case study. I understand. Okay, this question can be. Okay, maybe look into that. How I can work into it. Okay. Let's say I go with A option. Okay. Set an agreement cost ceiling. Okay. Delegate. Maybe lower the cost. Look into that. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's do this question. After reading the case study, quickly try to solve 5 questions. Okay. Because normally out of 5, 1 to 2 questions you can easily solve. Then you go to next case study, do the same thing. Like for example, even in this option, I can see suspend cannot be the answer. Okay, ask like even D cannot maybe the answer. So I can easily solve out of them 1 or 2 option. I solved it. Now I have done the 10 case study question. Okay, this is specifically for those people who get a problem with reading the case study. Now I go back, case study number 2. Okay, I read the case study one more time and the remaining question I solved it. Then I go to case study 1 and remaining question I solved it. So try doing it this way. It will cause a less tension on the brain and the 10 question you can solve in 20 minutes. This is another way. You see, hit and trial. 6 weeks remain before release and a full scale environment takes 10 weeks. The migration script ran cleanly at 40% volume, the largest team reaches, and nothing records that limit. The release plan allow one migration night, the customer contracted window. Select two, which two action comes first. First. Last line is very important. Okay. Extend the migration. Like the release plan allow only one migration night. Extending is not the first thing at all. Tell the product owner, okay, I'll keep this option. Provision a product scale environment before the next iteration. The question is asking the first thing. Okay, so this is eliminated. Now, log the untested volume assumption as a risk with its release impact. If you have only one option to go for it, A would 100% go into that because the things that you did not test it has to go there. And everybody agreed on A. Now, with C and E option, tell the product owner that the release plan rests on unverified evidence. How do you know that? What is the justification behind it? One person said C, you start jumping towards the C. What is the justification of that? Which data can claim you? Do you have the data? You are just communicating the uncertainty. What is the value of that? What is the value of that thing? If you go with the like C option has nothing to do with that right answer. Rerun the script against the largest environment the team can reach. So let's work into that. Let's rerun it so that we can get as many data as possible. PO is responsible for the outcome. Yes, he is responsible for the outcome, but who says that he is responsible for the outcome? Team is responsible, Naveen. Team holds the responsibility to complete the work. PO is PO job is to define the value. It's the Scrum Master and the team responsibility to complete the data, not product owner. So that is a very important thing. Okay, that's a very important thing. So right answer are A and E. So now when we are solving the question, now we are looking into that. You see, when you rerun the entire migration to the largest environment, what happens actually here? That's the important thing. You gives the team information about whether the result 40% can scale or not. You take that data and rerun it on the biggest value. So you get, okay, this can be scaled or not. Am I getting the point here or not? Is this clear or not? Okay. Farhan, next question for you, please. Let's go to the question and I really like it. Now I can see most of you are giving the answers. Uh, I would recommend that maybe give a little bit more justification with the answers. Why do you think this should be the answer? So that we have more context how we are moving into that direction. Okay, cool, everyone? Perfect. Okay, so going back to the question, A non-deferrable regulatory fee of 1,80,000 is payable within 180 days. So there's a payment which we cannot delay and it has to be done in next 30 days, right? Planning never identified it, so it's an unidentified issue. And a contingency has 45,000 fee after allocation to 4 risk. Contingency sit with the project manager and reserves above baseline with the sponsor. So first thing first is that what are the two action we can do? Okay. So the first thing is we need money. Okay. So when we talk about the money, Fardhan, you solve the question. Unmute yourself. Farhan.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. So it's a management reserve. Who has the management reserves?
For management that we need the change request.
No. Here in the change request, no
Yeah,
option is there.
sponsor.
The
Sponsor
question
has.
categorically said that it is 180,000 and you have 45,000.
45,000.
We need to use the management reserve. Even if there was only the question did not say what two action would we should do. B is the first answer. Okay.
Hmm.
B is the first answer. Draw the fee from contingency since uncommitted. No, A is eliminated. It is unknown risk. We cannot go with that A. Okay. It has into that. A is eliminated. Now you come to that. Take the fee to sponsor. Okay. B is for sure the right answer. Confirm the fee fall outside the risk that contingency. Okay. I'll hold it. I'll come back to it. Reduce the for live risk allocation. No, I cannot do that. Even if I do that, still I have 45,000. I cannot do that. Ask the regulator whether the fee can be deferred. What is the first line, Farhan?
Non-deferrable.
So how you
Cannot be
can,
deferred.
how brother you can go towards
Yeah.
that? Huh? How you can do that? So the answer, if you have read the first word right, you would have
Hmm.
eliminated it.
Yeah.
So we are only left with two options, B and C.
Got
It was not a difficult question. So one thing is clear, which two check should precede tomorrow's recommendation? Okay, which should happen before tomorrow recommendation? Our test unit failed. It has failed. The problem is there. And the manufacturer cannot expedite the part it's 6 week needs repair. So we need a part and that part needs 6 week repeat. We cannot increase the speed, right, Fatima? The replacement carries a 16-week lead time. So the problem is 16 weeks. And every remaining test needs a unit. So whatever the test is, it needs a unit. A university laboratory offer a similar test unit outside teaching hours. So they can do the test outside teaching hours. What should he do? Okay. So I really like what you said. The first thing is establish how the laboratory restricted or access hours affect the test schedule. I need to see how those limit hours when they are working that works into that. It's a good option. But ask the manufacturer to compress the 6 week. So manufacturer categorically said, if anybody said D answer, Sarbuddin, I can see you, and Naveen, I can see you. This cannot expedite. Okay. So he categorically put it into that. So D is out of the way. Okay. Okay. Now comes to the resequence testing. So unit independent work proceed during the repair time. Okay. So does the question says anywhere we can do that?
No, no, it
Okay.
doesn't
And
mention that.
every remaining test needs a unit.
Need a unit, yes.
Okay. So we cannot resequence it. Every
Mm.
test needs a unit. So that's out of the way. Okay. Establish the purchase price and delivery date. We do not have that. You selected A option. Which option you selected, Fatima?
C and E.
So C cannot be that. Na? And of
Mm.
course, A has nothing to do that. So we are left with only two options, B and D.
And E. Okay.
Okay, B and E. Confirm the offered unit meets that. Of course, I need to confirm that. How did you eliminated a B option, Fatima?
I thought to resequence the testing
That's okay,
unit.
but that's okay. I understand what you suggested, but how did you eliminate B option? B is such a beautiful option. Like if the question said select one answer, I would have been confused. How can I select? And even maybe I go towards B before E.
Okay.
B is even greater than E. Okay?
Okay.
B is even greater than E. Okay. So Rubama is asking Fatima how E. So can you explain her how E is the right answer, please?
That laboratory, university laboratory, they offers a similar unit outside the teaching hours. So we are just checking the test schedule, how the laboratory accessing after the hours, access hours restricted. Is my understanding is correct? Yeah.
You're 100%. So Rubama, the laboratory is only giving us option to do at certain time. I want to check if we do it other times, can it also help us? That's all. Cool. Okay. You are saying D option price the switch against the exposure that changes supplier would remove. So here how I'm gonna do that, that will not solve any of my problem. If we look into that, if we say like you don't simply compare the 8% premium against the 90,000 termination. The decision is about the total exposure, the overall exposure from supplier failure, including schedule, cost, delivery, all those things we need to look into that. So that's why D is not there. Now comes the C option. Add the alternative to approved vendor list since it was accepted at pre-qualification. Okay, before moving the work, ensure that supplier is available. That is a very important thing. Okay, so
Yes.
that is an important thing here. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Now, now we are getting to the option, which option we have. You said A. A option, why not A? This is the trap. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
why? What is this? Accepted risk does not mean permanently accept that. The thing is that we accepted the risk. Many people said A. We accepted the risk. Why did we accepted that risk? We did not have any other option. We did not have any other option. We accepted because there was no alternative. Are you getting my point? Because there was no alternative. Like, let me give you an example. We were forced to buy, if you're an iPhone user, iPhone lightning cable because no one else can give us lightning cable. Now, iPhone works on C type. iPhone work on C type. I can maybe buy Samsung or any other airports of that can work into that because alternative is available, right? Alternative is
Yes.
available. So A would be eliminated. Straightforward. Now, move the work before the credit position. It's very important. I cannot drop my credit more. I cannot drop my credit more. That's very important thing. Overall thing is there. So since it was approved, we will add it into that. Now, yeah, why D would not be the answer? Price the switch against the exposure. You cannot compare 8% against the entire charges. Okay. We need to look into that. What two options are there? If that supplier goes out of the way, we are done. We have nothing to do into that. That is a bigger problem here as compared to anything else. Okay? It's a tricky one.
Yes.
It's a tricky one because here, as a general accepted response should be there. A legal advisor confirmed the retention rules take effect 4 weeks after go live
Yeah.
without transition leave. The
Yeah.
compliance plan let only the product owner. Like, I don't understand how you missed it. He
Correct.
allows
Correct. Correct.
only the product owner defer a regulatory item
Correct. Correct. Correct.
on
Correct. Yeah.
record. Changing the
Yeah.
retention after go live cost about 4 times. Except
Mm.
ask the legal advisor. Give the product owner the requirement. Let
Correct,
him.
correct,
The question
correct.
categorically said,
Yes.
if you look, the change management plan required review past quarterly. The approval total, total they can approve 66,000, right? So with 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, we have passed their pay grade. They can approve up to, let's say, 66,000. So we have passed that thing. Okay. Adil,